Hello friends, family members, and internet strangers. I am here tonight because I need to ask you a favor. It is very late, and I feel very awkward in front of a camera, but bear with me because this is the only time I have motivation to do anything. So, yes, I need to ask a favor of you, and that favor is I need to get the City Council of Saskatoon spammed. Because on Monday morning at 9:30, they are going to be having a meeting where they discuss Avatarol and the future of Avatarol in our city and pigeon poisonings. And this is very exciting for me because this has been like my mission for a while. If you know me or you know of me, I'm very passionate about Avatarol and getting it banned and making the world a better place for animals in general, but specifically pest species and pigeons. Yes. So I should probably tell you what Avatarol is before I ask you to go after the city, because having some background information is probably great. And I wanted to do like a different video, a more well laid out video. I wrote up a script. I'll probably still do something with that, but I only have like a day to get this out and get this shared. It's kind of quick. So let's just get into it. What is Avatrol? Avatrol is a neurotoxin that is used to poison birds. Basically any kind of pest bird it's generally used for, but it mainly targets pigeons. And it's because pigeons are a common pest bird and they're easy to bait for. Essentially, it causes seizures in birds, and these seizures actually scare away the rest of the flock, or at least that's what it's supposed to do. Avatrol claims that it's a natural flight response, which is completely bonkers. Having a seizure is not a natural flight response. They really just say that so that the public doesn't freak out. But I'm telling you this now because I want people to freak out about it, because it makes me really upset, and I hope it makes you upset. So basically, it's used to scare pigeons away from sites. And they say it has little to no mortality. Pigeons aren't supposed to die from it. You're supposed to have, most of them are supposed to survive, so they call it, environmentally friendly. It's humane, supposedly. However, a lot of the pigeons that eat Avatrol die. And this is because you can't really control the amount of poison that each bird is getting. So they can eat just a little bit and not really be affected that much. They might be a little bit twitchy. But most pigeons are kind of gluttons, and they will just down a whole bunch before they actually have any effects whatsoever. And then they're seizing so bad that they are rolling around on the street. And then at work, I'm getting pigeons that are just flailing and thrashing, and it's horrid to watch, and they are just shaking. And they do that for, they say up to 24 hours, but we have now had birds die after 48 hours due to Avatrol. So the potency has actually increased. They've made it worse. And this is kind of why we're doing this now, because we think the potency thing is more recent. And it needs to be addressed in the city, and we need to get on top of this because, it was late 2019 that I first brought this up with the city, and all they really did was stop using it. Like, the city of Saskatoon stopped using it, but they didn't make it illegal for anyone else to use, so it's still used all over the city. And I don't really see the point of that, because a bird doesn't really care if they're eating bait from the city or from some random Joe Schmo's house. Anyway, Avatrol also claims that it is painless because it is a C channel or K channel blocker or something. It's dumb. It's not true. Humans have ingested Avatrol, and they have experienced extreme pain from Avatrol. They experience extreme abdominal pain, seizures, cramps, sweating. There was a patient that went into a coma for a while because it was so bad, and they only ingested, it was quite a small amount of Avatrol. It's really scary, and it is not good for birds or humans to be ingesting at all. It's also pretty much impossible to just get one target species. Like, you can bait for pigeons, but any bird can eat the seeds that you're using to bait for the pigeons. Or any predator can eat the pigeon that was just poisoned because they're thrashing around, they can't escape. They are in their most vulnerable state, which is so, great for predators, and they see that and they go, whoa, it's a free meal, and of course they're going to eat that pigeon. They're not going to think, oh, it's acting weird, I'm not going to eat it. No. Avatrol actually does have a study where they say there's no secondary poisoning effects, but this study is also stupid. Like, they essentially used red-winged blackbirds, which are not pigeons. They do not have the same crop size. They do not eat the same number of seeds. So obviously the predator would not be ingesting the same amount of poison from a red-winged blackbird to a pigeon. They also used red-winged blackbirds that have been dead for, a while, dead and frozen. So we don't really know, the effects of Avatrol between dead and frozen, and when you're eating a still alive pigeon off the street that has recently been poisoned. They didn't look into that. They just said, oh yes, our small sample size has not died, therefore there's no secondary poisoning effects. It's not true. More recent studies have shown that there are secondary poisoning effects with Avatrol, especially with predators that eat recently deceased or soon to be deceased pigeons. You think about hawks and falcons that eat pigeons and they can be poisoned, but it can also poison dogs and cats, which is generally what I'm concerned about, and I think most people will be concerned about, because your dog doesn't really know to avoid the contents of the bird's crop, which is their neck stomach, which is where the poison is sitting. They'll just mutilate the pigeon and eat it, and then they get poisoned. There have been recorded deaths with pets ingesting Avatrol. Unfortunately, this number is nowhere near what it probably is, because no one expects Avatrol when their pet suddenly dies. No one expects, my pet's having a seizure, I need to think about it being Avatrol. No. It's not a thing. Cats and dogs have both had issues with it. And it's just sitting out around the city for our kids to get, our pets to get, and you may think, oh, well, there's regulations around it, like the pest control company should be putting it in a place where kids can't reach and our pets can't reach, but that's not true. Avatrol actually, they rebranded one of their baits to be Easy Blend, and because because Canada doesn't list Easy Blend in the products that are controlled from Avatrol, because Easy Blend is newer, it was made after the regulations came out. Anyone can order it. I can go online and I can spend $200 and get a tub of Avatrol to my door right now, and I can sprinkle it outside, and it's completely legal. So yes, it's an issue for your children, it's an issue for your pets. You let your cat outside and wandering around, and your cat finds a flailing pigeon. It's a risk. It's horrible. Avatrol does not care whether it's targeting a pigeon or your pet. It will kill both just the same. It doesn't care if your kid picks them up and put it in its mouth. It'll hurt them just the same. And this stuff is still being used in our city to this day, despite the city being very well aware of what it does. Anyway, I have a problem with Avatrol still being used. But there are better pigeon control methods that we can be using, because I don't want to just leave you with nothing. There's actually a bird birth control called ovocontrol, which is actually truly effective. They claim that they can reduce pigeon population by up to 90%, and I think that's kind of wishful thinking, but half seems kind of reasonable, maybe a little less, but any reduction in pigeon population is probably what people want. Not really me. I'd love to see the pigeon population explode. I don't really care, but I understand why people want less of them, so I'd rather them get ovocontrol than Avatrol. You can also actually use roosting sites, whether that be an older building that you're okay with the pigeons sitting on. You can build them a specific pigeon roost, and then this is a site where you expose the birds to ovocontrol, and you can actually have them, you can get nesting boxes so that the pigeons that are there, you can replace their eggs or oil their eggs so that the eggs never hatch. And then that's further reduction of pigeon population sizes. And you can get really amazing results with this without any kind of inhumane death and suffering from Avitrol. Avatarol doesn't even really work because really all you're doing is teaching the pigeons, hey, there's food here, and we got scared off once, but most of the time there was good food there because you have to pre-bait with regular seed before you can give them Avatarol. Most of the time there was good seed there, so they're gonna go and they're gonna be like, yes, we got good seed there once, so why don't we just come back? Like, you think they're gonna stay away because you used Avatarol? No. Anyway, I'm just very done with seeing seizuring birds all the time. I feel like I see enough bird death just from natural causes or, outdoor cats, which is also something I have an issue with, but I see enough other deaths that this thing that could be easily corrected, I hate seeing it. We could easily just not use it. But we just have to continue poisoning the environment and hurting the creatures that we share this planet with. And I think that's really disgusting. Until you are actually holding that bird in your hand and you see the fear and the pain in their eyes. And honestly, I often say they look like they're just asking you to kill them, just to end it, because it's horrid. That's what makes me mad. Because it's so wasteful, and it doesn't need to happen. And no animal, I don't care how much you hate pigeons, deserves that. It's a waste of money, a waste of time and resources. It's a waste of life. And it's a huge risk that we don't need to be taking. There is no reason to use Avatarol. So please, if you can, contact the City of Saskatoon. The meeting is on Monday at 9:30. And when the City Council and the Mayor, when they walk into their offices, I just want them to be flooded with comments about Avatarol, with people saying basically exactly what I just said. I mean, have your own opinion. I'm not going to dictate your opinion, but I'd appreciate it if you could be against Avatarol. They need public pressure, because when one person goes in, obviously it doesn't work. They just think, oh, this isn't a big deal. They need to be pressured into it. So please contact the city. You can actually go onto the City of Saskatoon website, and there you go to I'll record a screen recording and put it over this, but you can go onto their website, you go to contact, or you go onto the mayor's page and then contact the mayor, and then there's a screen, I think. I might be wrong. I just did this 2 seconds ago and sent in my comment, but thank you. Thank you for doing that. It means a lot to me. Thank you for getting to this point. I didn't expect this to last this long, but I often go on long Avatarol rants, and it's something that I'm very passionate about and I think really needs addressing at this point, because as I've explained, it's horrible and it needs to stop. Okay, I forgot to mention what meeting you're supposed to be commenting on. It is the SPC for Environment, Utilities, and Corporate Services meeting. So when it asks what meeting are you referring to, it's that. I'll put that somewhere in the comments as well, but please feel free to look into any resources. I can post resources as well. I don't know if I can put it I'll make a different post about resources if you want to look into it. I compiled a bunch while I was doing my own Avatar research, and please feel free free to do your own. Anyway, thank you so much for leaving a comment to the city. Please also leave a comment to your city, as well as Saskatoon, because I'd really like it if Saskatoon stopped the use of Avatarol. But also, if you don't live in Saskatoon, please feel free, or please do leave a comment to your city as well, just requesting that Avatarol is not used anymore. And make sure to spread this around. Please spread the message. Please share this everywhere that you can. It would mean so much to me because I just really want Avatarol to go away, and the only way for me to do that is for enough people to know about it. So if you could share this, that means the world to me. So thank you so much and have a lovely evening. I'm gonna go to bed. Bye.